Welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got Bandai's latest release. This is the fantastic 1/12 scale Scout Trooper and the speeder bike. Okay, now been after this kit for a little while. Really excited when this one decided to come out. As you can see, great box art on there. Usual thing, we've got the pictures of what you can expect. Sorry, get rid of the glare. Okay, so we've got some pictures from the actual film itself, plus actually what it is, the details and everything else. Okay, and there's your thing. So the number on this one is 0196693. Okay, and say a little bit more about it as well. He's got a great stand by the looks of it, and actually looks very, very nice. Okay, so in the box, you get that stand up. Okay, as you can see, jam-packed. So plenty of stuff going down in here. We've got the usual sort of multi-parts we've seen with Bandai recently. As you can see, this one is actually stuffed full of plastic, okay, which is really, really nice. Okay, so having a quick look through the instructions first. Okay, if we just bring this camera out just a second. All right, and then as you can see, usual thing, it's talking about obviously the Scout Trooper. Now they do come as two separate, so if you wanted to, you could have the bikes separate. It's not like, you know, they're part of the same thing and sort of molded together. All right, so you're going to start with the Scout Trooper first. So working his way through, working on his torso, popping in his head, okay, and then obviously working down through his legs, his body, his utility pouches, putting on his legs, all the bits and pieces. He's fully articulate, as you'd imagine, because obviously he's going to be riding the bike as well. Okay, so we've got lots of sort of ball and socket joints down in there, and as we now know, just remember folks, don't go in there with any hot lacquers, sort of, you know, cellulose thinners, things like that, because the plastic just dissolves. All right, have a look at the Scout Walker video if you haven't heard the rumor on that one. So again, putting in his hands, his various things, and then his base. So the base obviously has got a thing for actually standing on, or you can put in a blanking plate if you just wanted to have them set up. All the bases are sort of can hook together. He has got a little articulate arm that holds him up as well, all right, because he's not sort of self-standing, which is standard. And then it's a case of moving on to the bike itself. So the bike itself, usual thing, working its way right the way through. Very simple. You don't really need glue with these parts. They usually push fit and lock in very nicely together. Some great details of it going down there and all going in. The hose system showing how they lock in as well. Anything with this little 2-tick business means it's a click lock. Okay, so push it till it clicks. All right, and just working its way through the full build, as you can imagine, and then putting on the actual foot plates, and then around the back end with the sort of flaps on the back. All right, and then the actual stand itself. So the stand itself is a free base with an edge with a pin, so it holds it, because obviously these things sort of levitate, they hover. All right, so just to give it that overall effect. All right, and then you can put him on. So you have different hands for him holding the control grips, because obviously he's wrist down, and putting them in, which is absolutely fantastic. And then usual thing, obviously the painting guide and your decaling placement as well. All right, so all the way through on those. So actually, I must admit, I'm quite excited about this one. This is what I've been waiting for. So I'm assuming it's this bag here is going to be your Trooper versus the other one, which is going to be the bike itself. Now, one thing we noticed in the other ones, that some of the plastic seems to be white, some of it has that real heavy, you don't need to paint it white, okay? This is definitely the latter, because if you look at the quality of the white stuff on this, if I just zoom this camera down so you get a better look at it, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, it's beautifully white glossy. If it looks like it's been dipped in white gloss, it is extremely strong. Okay, you look like there's no light coming through. You can hold this up even to my studio lights, and it's very little light gets through it. It is very nice. But as you can see, this is obviously his outer stuff is the white, the black will be the inner parts and everything else. But to give you an idea, there's his helmet for his scaling. All right, so he's going to be quite a large chap. And then bottoms of his boots, soles of his boots, you've got down here on one of these sprayed separates. Inside, we've got clear plastic, black tinted plastic put on there, so you can actually see through his visor a little bit. All right, so actually really, really nice, all of that. No problems. Usual thing, there's no point even looking. You're not going to find flash, mismolds, sink marks. You just don't get them on the Bandai kits. All right, they're extremely high quality. Okay, so we've got that. That's going to be part of a bike, so it wasn't what I was thinking. So this will be the rest of him internally. Okay. So down in here, this is obviously all his internals. So this is the stuff underneath the armour. So you've got things obviously like his trousers, his arms, his cuffs. I'm just looking for his hands. His hands are going to be around here somewhere. So we've got different types of hands for holding blasters, or just usual, because he's got his little pistol just down here. That will be for that, for holding there. All right, and all his body parts. So because as I say, he's fully articulated, and as you can see, very nice pin locking systems on all of that, which is going to put this in. But again, the quality of the plastic is absolutely second to none. It really is fantastic. So here we got his hands. I'm wondering if this is more rubberized plastic. It's a little bit softer, but as you can see, we've got different hand grips here. So we've got the one for holding his pistol, okay, and then obviously you've got your sort of normal hands and that wrist down position for being on the speeder bike. You can catch it. So he's got, obviously he's going to have armor plates on the top, so that's why it's opened up at the top. But generally very nice, all of those. Okay, and this will be the actual more rubbery one. So you say this is like a rubber plastic, and this is for all the sort of the ball and joints and everything else to articulate him. So it's got resistance. So obviously it's not just like he's going to swing down after a few uses, because this is a rubberized plastic. It'll stick and hold in position. All right, so that's really nice. They're all good. This guy, as we had here, is part of the speeder bike. So as you say, we've got two different types of the actual flaps at the back. Okay, so you've got open and close. Again, this is quite rubberized because it's all the hosing going through. So it seems like the seats are quite nice. All of these sort of, you know, thinner parts are actually all in this sort of rubberized type plastic, which is nice. Clear part, this is obviously for holding up the actual bike itself, so you don't see it too much. And then this is hard plastic. This is for his little roll that goes on the back of the bike and all the rest of it. So again, no problem with all those. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at the parts itself. Now the only thing this is the sticker sheet. I just haven't seen the decal sheet yet. Oh, there it is. Right, forget that. I was just getting slightly worried. There's your base. That's just for the standard if you want the trooper on his own. All right. And then this is the bike itself. Okay, so you can see this is the front end with the console, center console, jammies. Yeah, all right, I won't go down there. Okay, but all the parts, as you can see, the colouring isn't brilliant. Okay, it's brown and all the rest of it, so it is going to need a paint job. Some of them, sometimes you can think to yourself, does it need painting? It's that good. This one, unfortunately, you have. You've got lots of webbing, you know, temperature change from the injection moulding, stuff like that, so this is going to need painting, all of this one. But again, you could literally spray it like this and then assemble afterwards, which is probably the easier way to do it, and then weather and everything else afterwards. But again, no sign of any problems. Nice raised and recessed details all over this one, pretty much as per the film production ones and the studio scale models. They're absolutely lovely, no problem with any of those. Okay, the last one, this will be your internals then, and the base for the bike. I'm hoping base for the bike, as well as this is the decals. We'll cover it briefly. Don't use these stickers, they are awful, they're flat and horrible. The decals, really nice. I've used the decals on their other ones, they really work quite well. That's the base, we'll look at that last. Okay, so then we've got the internal, so we've got the engines, the workings, the main rods out the front, all the bits and pieces. Now I thought, which it does show, on the box it looks black, they've done this in a grey colour. So I always thought it was black and that browny colour, so slight colour difference here. This is more like a gunship grey, all right? But generally pretty nice. I can't see any problems with any of this. These are such fun kits to build that they just go together without the use of glue. Minimal cleanup as well, so I just use a knife and a pair of scissors and they're absolutely fantastic. So here's your base. Very nicely textured. Okay, this guy is going to sit on here, then you've got the thing coming across, so it will hold your bike in the upright position. But again, just the quality of the base is absolutely fantastic. You don't have to worry about too much. I just did a simple grass one for the Scout Walker when we did that and put that one on the ATST, and it absolutely worked a treat. It was a 2-minute job and looked fantastic. And this guy here looks like a tree stump coming up, which is quite nice. And then you've got that clear bar coming across. So yeah, absolutely beautiful. You know, at the end of the day, reviewing Bandai kits is so easy because you don't get any problems with them. They are beautiful kits, superb fit. I've never had a fit issue anywhere on one of these. As I say, they go together with no glue, which is fantastic, especially if you want to do it with the kids. Just remember though, a lot of people have said to me, oh, can you take it apart afterwards? You might have seen us on a recent live show where we actually put together the entire team. We had one each, and we all built in one episode a live on air, the TIE Fighter. Then as Steve pointed out, when he would try to take his apart again to actually paint it, it wasn't going to come apart. So just remember, some of these things are one-way click locks. You're not going to get it apart again. So don't think you can pop it together and get it, apart. Sometimes it's not going to work quite as easy, but they are fantastic. I get clobbered every time bringing them into the UK because Raw Mail know me and they just charge me 20 quid every time I bring one of these in. But if you do, you can get them from HobbyLink Japan. They're quite cheap. They're not going to break the bank too much. They're anything that sort of range between 20 and 40 pounds for some of the big stuff. But they're for the quality of the plastic and the actual quality of the build of it going together. They are absolutely in a world of their own. They're the finest detailed. They're basically like studio scale mini models, and they are worth every single penny. So as you can tell, I'm a bit of a fan, so everyone ought to go out and get one.